Hello, all you drama enthusiasts. Welcome to the meeting. This is Angie's Drama Room, and I am your meeting host, Angie. And today we're going to be talking about my weekly roundup. Yeah, there was some other dramas that I did watch after The Pursuit of Jade. I am still on Pursuit of Jade. I have yet to waver away from it. Pursuit of Jade is the all in all for me right now. It was almost like for me when I was doing As Beautiful as You. But Pursuit of Jade, the costume drama, yeah, it's been hard to deviate away from it, and there really wasn't much more costume dramas out that set the standards like Pursuit of Jade. Let's talk about the dramas that I am currently watching. Let's talk about Perfect Crown. Yes, Perfect Crown. This stars our female lead, IU. And then, of course, our male lead, Beyond Woo Seok. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He has not done nothing much more after Lovely Runner, which is interesting. I'm not quite sure what he's been doing. With Lovely Runner, I always liked him in Lovely Runner than more than the actual female lead in it and the storyline. That's kind of why I continue to watch it. It was, I think they were trying to do the time span and to put her at 35 or put them at 35 and still try to be an idol. That's a little weird. I know there's still ones out there who are doing it. We have Super Junior. We have other ones that are out there in their 30s, mid 30s doing these things, as I'm talking about as the series was in Lovely Runner. But however, I thought it was kind of interesting. But again, there was not much after that he done. And I was so excited to watch this because I love the previews. They were the trailer they had out. The Perfect Crown is the mixture of the monarchy versus today's government and how they're ruling. And so I love that. It reminds you of King of the Monarchy or something like that with Lee Min Ho. I think the reason why people may not have enjoyed that one was because it was coming out of the C19 era. I don't know if you can even still say that on YouTube anymore, but however, it was coming out of that era. And so they may have to really rush it through or condense it down in order for it to, because there were some parts that were kind of the continuity of certain situations were kind of, and I actually did rewatch it. And I liked it. I still enjoyed that one. But however, the Prince of Crown, there's scenes in there that were really great. And when he punches you, punches you. I love that. I love how to me, he is Prince Eon. Now, I'm not quite sure why the dad kind of switched it up a little bit, changes his name twice until this one. I guess because he was getting used to it. Dad was just being a tyrant. He wasn't, and we can tell that there was friction between him and his father. And he was the youngest son, second youngest son. And so, and the first son, of course, was his brother, he was ascended to the throne after the dad passed away. Now that they're giving us a lot more detailed, people are trying to say, well, the queen mom, or Queen Dawager, or whoever you want to call her, which was his sister-in-law. They thought they had a thing together. No, I don't think that's the thing. I believe that the queen's father has something to do with the marriage, and it may have been like a premarital pregnancy in order for the king, well, the crown prince, his brother, to marry her. And because I don't think he liked her, and he wanted to marry somebody else, but because the obligation had it, he ended up marrying her. And I think that's where the conflict came in. And that's the reason why we have it where our grand prince Yeon, I believe, because he wanted to marry for love. And I think that had something to do, again, because of his brother. I do believe that the present king, the nephew, is the brother's son. How many people thinking that it's Beyonce? But okay, the grand princess. No, I believe it is the brother's son. And I think what's going on is we get a little bit more context of what is really happening here. the grandfather or the father of the queen, right? I think he had something to do with putting the little boy on the throne. And one thing is the prime minister mentioned it to the nurse nanny or whoever, the court lady to the queen, and said, oh, too bad he couldn't be the king. And she kind of had that little look like, she had something to say, but she couldn't say it. So it's possible that the father of the queen had something to do with it and hid that little claw somewhere. And so, and I think that's what it is. Now, whether the Grand Prince Yeon knew about it or not, I doubt that he knows about it because he would have stepped forward. And that's the reason why she's been trying to push her son to do a lot more things. The boy is only 10. I think he's probably, 10, if that. And so he still wants to be a kid. But yet they're trying to push him to being, look, you're the king. And again, we're talking about present day king monarchy, not what we talk about when it comes to the costume dramas kings, right? And so that's the reason why she's pushing it so hard, pushing him to marry down or somebody. And now I'm not quite sure why would it be that she's pushing him to marry somebody right away, but he's choosing who he wants to marry, and that's where IU comes in. IU wants to get married to Upsert or whatever her brother, show her brother, because her brother married up to, and then so now IU was like, in order for her to seal the deal on the being the CEO of this company, she needs to marry up. And how much farther up can you go but marry the grand prince of the monarchy? And because they went to school together, that's kind of reasoning why they knew each other even before then. I think that the Grand Prince Yeon, I believe he liked her during the school years because he done things to help her achieve her goal. I still love them together. I have nothing wrong with them chemistry together. I love the sternness, but I really want him to pop more when it comes to taking charge. He takes charge when he needs to take charge, but it never delivers enough forward in order to say, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm gonna put my foot down. She is so cute. And so I thought it was kind of cute how she hid behind him. Oh, here he is. And so she ran and hid behind him. She always hid behind him. Of course, a 6 foot tall, handsome, thin, nice looking grand prince. She hid him behind. Yeah, okay, I'll be behind him too. And I thought it was so cute. She's peeking like, hey, you're going to do something. And so the queen mother trying to accuse him of the icing. And then she blabbed why she did it in front of everybody, right? And so, and then the grand prince is like, well, we don't think we can do it. But then I used a character, what's this here? Huju. She was like, what, you don't think they're going to talk? So yeah, they talked. They're starting to like her a lot more now. And so she's very stern. She's and I think sometimes she hides it behind her own insecurities when it comes to herself and her father and her home life. But so she puts on this persona of how she's very strict and stern, fierce woman, but yet and still, she's still a soft little girl at heart. And I liked how she became domestic. I loved everybody showing the whole cuffling thing. There's a little scenes like that made the show, and it's making me come back for more. Let's talk about the next drama. It's a Chinese drama. It's called The Epoch of Miyu. I think that's how I pronounce her name. This is a 30-plus drama. She was actually on a previous drama, the female lead here, Zuzu, and I just saw it. I mean, she was just on, what was it? Why is he still single? And I loved her on that one. She did a great job on that one. Then the male lead on here, which is William Chung, I think that's it. William Chung, Wallace Chung. He was on the other one here. Hold on, let me see. He was on the Second Chance Romance. I didn't finish watching that one. I can't remember why I stopped watching it. But I'm liking him on this one. Sometimes you have to have a great script, and sometimes you have to have great direction. Of course, we're talking about a middle-aged woman in her 30s. Well, she's a little older than that, we know. But however, they stated she was 35. She was married right out of college. She's been married for 10 years. After her 10th anniversary, on her 10th anniversary, she found out that her husband was cheating on her and with a little younger woman. And so, and the husband was, it was, you know, yeah, he, it was a weird thing. It was like a hotel resort in the middle of the desert. And our male lead here, Jin Fong, he was the general manager there. And so he needed to secure a deal, which was her husband. And so he was hiding the affair. And how are you going to bring your mistress to this resort and it's on your anniversary? And then she was there. And so then the wife gets there. They hid the fact that he was affair because she came like a day early. And so the wife gets there. They moved them to another suite in order for them to hide the other woman. And then I guess convinced her to go take a spa. While she's at the spa, he has another go at it with the mistress. And when she's there, she finds a pair of red underwear under the pillow, which we probably know the mistress probably put it there because she was being, hanky. And so she calls the cleaning people, and then this general manager shows up and assures her that we will get to the bottom of it. We will figure out, what's going on. This room has been cleaned, and basically hiding the fact. If the husband said nobody came in and cleaned it, and you find a pair of a woman's sexy underwear under the pillow, yeah, ain't nothing, girl. And so she took it. She said, okay. And so then now what happened was they go back home, and then he makes up a story again, which has been like that, makes a story that he has to go to work away because he's a traveling agent or something. He owns they own some type of corporate traveling business or something. I don't even know how it is. And I don't know how this makes money, but however, that's what he owns. And so he makes up a story every once in a while saying he has to go back out for business. And of course, we know that means that's the code word for him to have to meet up with his mistress. And so the mistress sent her a text using her husband's phone and tells him, oh, I forgot a shirt or something like that. Could you bring it? And so when she gets to the hotel, boom, there you are. They're in the robe together, and she's playing. She's playing it in a hand. And she's basically telling him either me or her. And then, of course, at that point, she ends up divorcing him. And then he goes to the mistress. And now they're living in the house that they were living in. One thing about it is with the mistress, she ain't going to do nothing. That's who she was. She's just a mistress. And supposedly she's a businesswoman. And she also works in the hotel industry as in sales. So that's probably how they met. And she's not going to clean. She's not going to cook. And so, and they did get married because they found out that she was pregnant. She got pregnant. Then our female lead here, Miyu, she became a attendant in the executive floor at the hotel. And then that's when our general manager comes in, and he quit the one at the desert resort because he didn't get promoted, but he was the one who did everything. And so he goes and becomes a spy here before he actually becomes the general manager. Right now, we're halfway mark. We're on the 17th episode. It's a 38-episode drama. And of course, we talk about a middle-aged divorcee trying to live her life again because that's all she was. She was just a housewife. Technically, you're right. She was just a housewife because she just basically made sure everything was set, cooked clean, and basically kept house. Those are actually the only two dramas that I actually am physically watching that I'm watching right now. There were a few of the Chinese costume dramas. There was Rebirth, Love Beyond, is it Love Beyond the Grave with Del Raba and Arthur Chen. And then there was The Veil of something. I can't remember what that name was. Rebirth, the Rebirth and the Love Beyond the Grave, I think it was. It's in studio. Okay, which I know probably the other one was to Pursuit of Jade, but they were able to incorporate a nice cinematography and also in order to make it not look like it was in studio. These two dramas look like it was in studio, especially Rebirth. And in the beginning sequence, he's fighting people, and then each time he kills somebody, he's standing on a mound of dead people. And then he shoots an arrow, and supposedly, but it was the sequence, beginning sequence was off. And now I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? What? So I'm looking, and maybe I missed something. Who's supposed to be reborn? I don't know. Who's reborn here? Was it the female lead? You know, what's going on here? And so that's kind of what we're talking about here. The other guy who was on the mound of dead people was from Blossom. Oh, speaking of which, I did start with Blossom. I stopped short of the last 7 episodes. I haven't watched those finished yet. I haven't finished watching those yet. I don't know why. I think that's one of the things about the director. He doesn't know how to follow through on the endings on some things. That's the reason why people say they stopped short after the 30th episode and on or whatever when it came to Pursuit of Jade. I watched it all anyway because I wanted to know everything. But anyway, Rebirth, that's the only thing. There's nothing. It's just studio shooting. And then the Love Beyond the Grave, it was actually not bad with Del Raba. I just started, I stopped, then I picked it back up. It wasn't too bad, but it reminds me of, You Are My Glory, just in a costume drama. And so she kind of supposed to be in this laid back, reborn goddess or somebody, I don't know. And yeah. And then the one with the veil, yeah. But those are the other 3. And it's just after, again, I'm not saying that nobody else can top Pursuit of Jade. I'm quite sure. And even if these came out even before Pursuit of Jade, I probably wouldn't have continued to watch it. And then there's the Zukai one that just came out called 800. It's only on Tencent. And the thing with that is, the only thing I have for Tencent is on my phone, and I will have to cancel that membership to even try and then go to YouTube and then do the membership there in order to watch it if I wanted to watch it on my TV. But I'm not going to do that. I did watch the first episode, and it was kind of funny. I'm gonna tell you a little story if you want to listen. I was on my phone, and sometimes these phones are kind of sensitive. So when I went to flip it in order to see it in the long view, and I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, okay, interesting, okay. Come to find out, when I flipped it, I accidentally launched The Truth. I'm like, wait a minute, I saw the bell lead. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think he was on. Is he on this one? Then I'm like, wait a minute, this ain't the right show. So I changed it back. But however, the concept still was the same thing. It was about some woman dead, a dead woman in the beginning of the episode. They both had a dead woman in the beginning of the episode. And then Zukai came in like maybe 15 minutes later. His brother, his father is a cop. And then he has I don't know who this girl is. Again, if I continue to watch it, she's on dialysis or something, and she needs the kidney, and so he's hovering around her. Not quite sure if it's a love interest or not. Again, I don't know, but I may not watch it as every episode airs, but I might, pick it up here and there because I do enjoy Zukai. And this is a different look for him. It's a different little thing than it would have been for his idol dramas that he was in. And then I picked up Yumi Sale. Yeah. Because it came out with a part 3, and people are talking about the part 3, and so I picked up UMCL number 1. So I'm on part 1, and I was reading on social. Somebody said, "Do I need to watch 1 and 2 in order just to go and watch 3?" Because they said they like the previews in 3, and they're saying, well, technically no, but you may want to because and I like the number. I like part 1. The only reason I didn't pick it up when it first aired, because it reminded me of that cartoon here we have here about the things going in their head. So but when I picked it up, it's cute. Why not? It's funny, and the show really focuses on those little cartoon characters in her head more than her, and it's really 100% about her relationships. And I don't know if the guy goes into 2 and 3, which it ruins it for me. If he's not going to be in 2 and 3, then why am I sitting here watching 1? So she's picking up another boyfriend in 2 and picking up another boyfriend in 3. One of the characters I really, really thought was funny was our male lead's character when in 1, and she blasted him for about the whole thing about the bathroom, which I'll get to that in a minute, in the hotel. And she said something about him having the issues at her house during the bathroom. And and then they were like, "Oh no, hold him back, hold him back." There's those characters in his mind were like, "Oh, hold him back." And it was King Salty. I thought that was funny. I love the King Salty one. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little salty about what she said. It was cute. But of course they got back together. The bathroom thing, I think he kind of went overboard with it, because you talk about luxury hotel, and if you're a couple going there, then there's nothing wrong with see-through glass bathroom. So yeah, it was a little bit overboard on that one. And that's kind of where I am. Tell me what you're watching. Is there anything else I should pick up right now? Thank you for tuning in. This has been Angie's Drama Room. Thank you for joining the meeting. Again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscription button. I've seen people getting those views. Thank you again for Pursuit of Jade on my explained family tree. Appreciate it. Those are the most liked video I have. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. But if you have yet to subscribe, go ahead and hit that subscription button. I really appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for watching. Meeting adjourned.